Or am I supposed to hold the mic?
Yeah, we're just going to be holding the mic.
All right.
I think I need to come in a little bit this way.
Okay.
Probably need to turn that off.
Are we putting headsets on? Or are you supposed? Did you say we had to? No. Okay.
We'll just use the normal stuff.
Oh yeah, you'll have to whenever you do a mic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully everybody can hear us and they'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I would assume if they don't hear us, it is what it is.
Cool.
All right. Let it filter in right here. We got 25. I think that's good enough to start. Welcome into some live draft coverage. My name is Zach Lyons. I'm joined by Jonathan Bourne. We are live at Jasper's in West End. You don't have to sacrifice shitty food to go watch your game. This is the best sports bar. You can come to the sports bar. They got wings, cauliflower puffs, I believe it was. Got some sweet potato waffle fries, and they got even waffle fries with some barbecue on them. It is amazing. And yesterday I had their Creole roll. Oh my God, it's like a lobster roll, but chilled lobster roll with crawfish and shrimp. It is delicious. And I'll probably have me some.
Yeah, I think I made some enemies in the back there where I actually ate some of the sweet potato fries. So I can attest for that. This is pretty hard just to sit here and stare at.
Well, Ben. Well, Jonathan. I don't know why I said
I'll
Ben.
go by Ben.
The pick is in. I guess it's because I saw Ben Wright up here. But the pick is in. They took almost the whole amount of time to get to the inevitable conclusion of Trevor Lawrence. What do you think they were doing in there?
I think you got to sit there, and if Aaron Rodgers is on the market, I mean, of course, you got to have to leave your phone open. So if they call, then you got to ask, am I taking a proven 38-year-old quarterback, or am I taking Trevor Lawrence, the future, the guy that you hope turns into that?
Okay, so we're obviously Titan-centric. We're here in Nashville, and we're live at Jasper's of West End. We still have room in our private game room for you to come in. We have darts. We have an arcade game. We have cornhole. It is a great place, plenty of room for some people to filter in. A little bit of free appetizers. That's just between you and us. So, Trevor Lawrence, obviously going to Jacksonville, unless something happens behind us real quick. But what does this mean for the Tennessee Titans? Is this really that scary as everybody makes it out to be?
Look, a quarterback can change a franchise, and they have missed on plenty of them. But if you're going to – you got to go with Trevor Lawrence. Does he have some flaws to his game? Absolutely. But he is the closest thing you're going to get to a surefire coming out of this. So they're not a done deal. Like, they're not a team ready to win right now. But Trevor Lawrence, if he pans out, gets you a lot closer to that. And that's just extra competition if you're the Titans, a team that, frankly, couldn't buy a pass rush last year. So you think you got some of that fixed with Bud Dupree, but it'll be interesting to see how he pans out.
Well, I have to say that I thought that, and I know this may come off as a little bit biased and maybe a little bit of Alabama bias, but I have not been that impressed with Trevor Lawrence as much as I was with Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning or other quarterbacks that he sometimes gets, attributed to. So I'm not too scared, and I don't know if Marvin Jones and Laviska Shenault is enough to really, mask what could go wrong with Trevor. Because what could go wrong with Trevor is he's never really faced any adversity in Clemson other than that injury and COVID scare this past last year, but he's never really faced any adversity his whole career. And Jacksonville, you're pretty much, that is their motto. I believe it's on their locker rooms, adversity always.
Yeah, he's a guy that he comes out, he's got all the tangibles, he's got all the measurables, he's big, he's fast, he's got a strong arm, but he's not a surefire guy like Andrew Luck. Say what you want. I know that the Colts and Titans fans may say what they want about Andrew Luck, but the guy panned out. He was a hell of a quarterback. He was a hell of a prospect. Trevor Lawrence, that's not him. That said, he does have those tangibles. If he pans out, you take a guy like, you're an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is a guy that's getting a lot of pub in this draft. He's never going to be able to do the things physically that Trevor Lawrence can do or some of the other quarterbacks. So you kind of try to bridge that gap. Is it a guy that is a little bit proven, that has the athletic ability to hit that ceiling? And Trevor Lawrence is that guy.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see how the rest of the draft pans out. We are going to come back after pick number 5 and we'll see a little bit of Jacksonville Jaguar or not Jacksonville Jaguars, maybe a little bit Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers trade
Chaos
action.
at 3. Nobody has any clue. It's chaos at 3.
I'll tell you right now. Okay, who is it going to be at pick 3?
Oh man, Kyle Pitts. No, I think it's hard for me to say. There's all this pub for Mac Jones. I think it's going to end up being Trey Lance.
I would be very happy with Trey Lance. I do have a bet with Titans Film Room if it's Trey Lance because I wanted to go easy on him, make it interesting, right? He took Justin Fields. It's obviously probably going to be Mac Jones, but it'll be very interesting to see. So when we come back after pick number 5, after the Bengals, as it stands right now, is set to pick, we'll discuss those top 5 picks and we'll talk about what's going to happen next.
Absolutely.
So just stay tuned with us.
they gave up for Mac
We
Jones.
have been muted, by the way, this whole time.
Oh, we have.
I am a great producer. We
You
are
are
live
fantastic.
at Jasper's. Now we are actually live at Jasper's. We were muted the whole time. We were talking about how stupid Titans Film Room, a.k.a. Justin Graver, is. We also talked great about the food here at Jasper's. Just real quick, best burger.
One of the best burgers I've had in a long time.
We
Yes.
do order it medium rare. We may be a little weird, but that's okay. You should have sound now. We were talking about, were you a little surprised about Mac Jones not being the pick at San Francisco?
So, yeah, if you listen to all the hype going into it, you'd be a little surprised because this is one of the greatest smoke screens of all time in draft one about this. This was the pick. Everyone was talking about it. What we couldn't figure out is why did San Francisco give up so much draft capital for Mac Jones when your eyes and film tell you that he's not the more talented of the quarterbacks. So that was a little concerning there. But going Trey Lance, also, I could hear arguments that he didn't have as much film either. You know what you got. But what you're getting, athletic, smart quarterback with a rocket arm. So just some problem with the COVID-shortened season. You don't have a whole lot of 2020 film to go on him. So not too surprising. Shanahan knows what he wants. That's the guy he wants. He alluded to it a little bit with the arm of Russell Wilson and the legs of Lamar Jackson kind of thing. I think this is the best fit of all the quarterbacks you could get in this draft.
How does this affect the rest of the draft, though? I mean, we got Atlanta on the clock, right?
Sure.
And they were a shoe-in for Kyle Pitts because maybe they probably thought that Mac Jones was going to be off the board, and some people thought that Trey Lance may go to Atlanta. Does Atlanta, Art Smith, see enough in Mac Jones that maybe he surpasses a generational talent, some people say, in Kyle Pitts? Or do you think he just goes straight up Kyle Pitts?
So that's the thing you've got to understand. Art Smith wanted to do his own thing now. Is he wanting to get away from Matt Ryan? How much longer does Matt Ryan have? How much left to have in the tank? Kyle Pitts could really help that offense as it stands now. But what does this pick help you a couple years from now? And now he's done his due diligence. Trey Lance may be there. That's not there. Is Mac Jones that guy, like you said? I think you more likely go Kyle Pitts here and maybe ride it out till next year if he's not your guy. And then you got your teams like Denver, New England now who are perking up now that Mac Jones is sliding on back.
Yeah, well, you get that, and then we also have, and the pick is in, by the way, for Atlanta, so we'll stick around and talk about that. But then you got the Aaron Rodgers thing hanging out there.
Sure.
And, Green Bay's supposedly talking about Aaron Rodgers and about how he's unhappy and all this stuff. I've never met a quarterback that wins MVP be so whiny.
When's he been
about
happy?
Everything. I mean, he is a baby.
Right.
I mean, just the biggest baby. So if he goes to Denver, and Denver just traded for Teddy Bridgewater. They also have Drew Lock. I mean, that seems like
it's a heck of a quarterback room.
Yeah, it's a heck of a quarterback room, but a waste. That technically would take them off the board for a quarterback. So then you got people like New England, Chicago wanting to trade up. I mean, what does this do to Mac Jones and Justin Fields?
Oh, it obviously pushes him down the board, but I think those teams that thought that maybe Justin Fields would be picked up at 3, now he's there to be traded up to God, and you got to take a look at the teams that are sitting there now. Obviously, Atlanta's pick is in. You've got Cincinnati next. Those couple things, are they interested in moving back? What's Cincinnati going to do? They've got their quarterback, but are they going to go tackle, receiver? Yeah. Can they slide back a little bit depending on who offers and still be able to pick up one of those two positions for themselves? But I think their plan, if they knew their plan going ahead of time as far as draft guys go, the Aaron Rodgers thing throws a big wrench into this whole thing, just because especially if you're Denver, you've got to pull that trigger, right? Because you've got Bridgewater, who had a decent year for Carolina, but he's no Aaron Rodgers. Even as Aaron Rodgers is getting up there, 38, I think, going to is still. I mean, quarterbacks can play till 44 apparently now.
Yeah.
So now I think that you've got to kick those tires for sure and see what happens.
We see Roger Goodell is going up to the podium, so we're about to get a live reaction of who Atlanta selects. Is it going to be tight end Jesus? It is Kyle Pitts. Yep. So Mac Jones, Justin Fields still there. Now you have Jamar Chase possibly going to the Bengals, even though that may be lazy analysis. I do think they'll go offensive tackle. Who trades up?
Denver now, it's more likely that one of those two guys, either Mac Jones or Fields, are going to be there. If they want to stick there, more than likely it's somebody that's behind them that's wanting to get in front of Denver, not knowing what they're going to do. Because as far as I know and what I've seen, nothing's been announced about Aaron Rodgers. So as anyone in the draft knows, Denver's still going quarterback at 8. So if you like one of these two guys that are left, you may want to jump in front of Denver here with one of these next few picks to jump the line.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, do the Bengals trade back?
Sure.
Do the Dolphins even trade back? They may trade back with the way it's kind of falling, because there's got to be people calling to jump up to get these quarterbacks. Where do you see Mac Jones and where do you see Justin Fields? If you had to guess right now, does one of them make it to the Patriots?
So no Aaron Rodgers to Denver. One of them makes it to Patriots, I think, for sure. Well, definitely one of them makes it to the Patriots if Denver goes Aaron Rodgers here, some late breaking news. But I think that you're going to see some trade ups in front of New England, possibly if one of those guys slip past that 9 or 10 pick for sure.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back when we see what happens in a couple of picks. We stay with us. We'll be in and out of the breaks, but make sure you stay with us. Great coverage, great analysis by Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us for this one. One last thing. We are at Jasper's in Nashville. Best sports bar in Nashville. Tons of TVs. They got a whole game room with darts. They got cornhole. They got arcades. Great food. This is part of the restaurant group that Etch is associated with. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because the chef of Etch was one of the first female chefs in Nashville. And she went up to Michael Griffin to represent the Nashville in a Super Bowl cook-off. And that is it's pretty huge for someone like that to climb the ranks. And if you've been to any of their restaurants, they're all very good. And I highly encourage you to come out. We still have some spaces left, just a few spaces left for people who want to come into the live draft. We'll be here for the night, and we'll be going live with in-depth analysis with Mike Miracles at the Tennessee Titans pick. And then we'll also have Braden Gall here. We're going to be coming back in just a few short minutes, so just stay tuned.